thank you very much for having us in these offices. It's been absolutely incredible seeing them today.
Well, I am very delighted you're here. It's rare that we get so fine visitors, and it's always been like we are meeting press, we're meeting clients outside Romania, and I'm happy to have the chance to be host for once and show you around a little bit at the office and a little bit in the city as well after our day here today. Yeah.
And so then, let's talk about the business. So you described last year's results as, mind blowing, and there was
at least in my mind.
Yeah, but I mean, it was an incredible year for EveryMatrix, and there was a lot of kind of strategic kind of like milestones reached. But I mean, is it like, do you feel there was one that kind of stands out, like across the board? Like, does anything kind of stand out?
I would say there are two main things. One is that we again managed to keep all of our clients, all the big ones at least. And this is really not something one should take for granted. It's normal that operators shop around and they're unhappy with this or that and they move to another provider. This happens. We get certainly clients from others. And back in the day when we were a smaller company, it was a regular thing that like maybe 1 out of 5 large operators might leave you in a year. This didn't happen last year, didn't happen the year before, it didn't happen the year before. All of the major clients we have today are clients we've signed in like between 16 and 19. And so all of those clients we signed in this period are still with us. And this is one of the key things here. So this is number one reason for why it's going so well for us. That bunch of clients we signed in this period have then stayed and they've grown and they've grown and they've grown. So, and then the other part, of course, is that we managed to add on to some clients. And it's one of the most important client launches we had for several years was the launch of the Hungarian State Lottery. They went live. It was a lot of work, but also was rewarding both, financially, but also just with the joy it is to complete a big project and to see it going really well. We always try to budget and forecast how things will go on a per client basis. A very complicated big Excel sheet with meticulously calculating by product, by client, everything. So of course we were forecasting on Hungary and we beat the forecast. And for us, it's good for financial reasons. Also good because of the relationship. When we as a provider have a client that's doing well commercially, then everything just gets so much easier. So typically the problems arise when you have a client that's underperforming, their management is under stress, etc. It leads also back to us. But when the clients are growing, when the clients are staying, the clients are happy, then it gives a lot of satisfaction, peace, and joy in this building and with our other offices. And it, of course, creates revenue. So it's like the double bonus we get here. Our lives are easier, are more joyful, but also we get a lot of opportunities from just having this extra cash to play around with.
Fantastic. And one of the things that's kind of like struck me from today is just like how kind of modularized the business is today and how kind of, I suppose kind of unique that is. Because like, you look at the wider industry and you look at similar projects creating something vertically integrated, they've not gone so well, let's say. I think
it's unique. And the thing is, it's surprisingly hard to do. Of course, we are not unique in having products that are single vertical. Take sports, Kambi, very good at what they're doing. Evolution, Live Dealer, very good at what they're doing. Well, it's hard to find people that are able to do a multitude of things, which is a quite different ambition. And, you can do the single one or you can do the cross one. And I'm not saying one is better than the other, but if you're doing the cross one, then you tend to end up in a situation where some of the things you're doing is just not good enough. And it gets masked by you having other things that are working really well. And this we have avoided. And to do it once you are up and running and you have 50 clients, you have 100 clients, it's really quite tricky. You have to keep them happy while essentially you have to run two development teams. One is servicing the old product, the old platform, making sure you still do things that you need to do, still make money and keep your clients satisfied. At the same time, building something completely new. When can you switch? How can you switch? It was very complicated, and it also damn near killed us. But what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it did. We came out on the other side, and quite quickly we had the first tier ones. This was, of course, the entire ambition, and that was very gratifying. Then we knew we were on the right path, and sort of gone full circle for me in that way, because the first big client we signed after this was a lottery. That was the Norwegian lottery for our casino product. And then this one now that got launched in, they think they launched in 17 or 18. And then the big one here last year, Hungarian, and here the driving product was a sports product, equally important, but we didn't have that signature win that the casino product got from Norsk Tipping. We got that this time, and so that was also very gratifying. Yeah.
It's interesting, that lottery opportunity. I mean, especially now today, we've seen kind of like lottery engine kind of emerging. I mean, so that whole project, I mean, like how far does that go? Does that, like, do you effectively see EveryMatrix kind of taking on, you know, the IGTs or the scientific games? You know, is that really?
I do.
Yeah,
I do, and that might be hubris talking and me sitting here being overconfident on the back of a very good year. But what we can see is that some of the things that are happening in this sector, literally, it's underexposed to competition. This is quite clear.
Yeah.
The number of operators is not big enough and agile enough for there to be the kind of perturbation that can bring newcomers in. And it's only when we reach the size that we have now that we can actually realistically say we can take on projects like this.
Yeah.
When I look at the other companies that were like, if you go back 2-3 years and say, oh, they were like, there's this layer of company like EveryMatrix. And I look at it today and I think we have managed to take that step up that gives us the size and the ability to take projects like this. And we couldn't have realistically, maybe we were trying and the failing, to win this kind of lottery type of deals back then. Now we're succeeding. And now they say, well, if I can handle this now like 5-6 lotteries, why not also aim for the core product itself? So I think it's possible. And what you see is that the switch in lottery, which tends to be more traditional and more, let's say, not as advanced in terms of how the product has been sold and marketed. Well, this is changing and will become increasingly important for lottery operators to be able to present something that is unique, that's exciting and modern as what a good casino operator is doing. They are not keeping up. They know it very well. They're not idiots. They, unfortunately for them, just don't have the products to allow them to compete. And so, we sent this product to our labs and say, let's see what you can do with this. We have clients enough for us to get good feedback. We have good people in the team, and we have the resources to say we'll give it a go. And if it doesn't work out, then our main business, thankfully, is still intact. We did the same with Live Dealer, and now that is being put to the market. You asked about what are good achievements from last year. And one nice achievement is that next to everything else we were doing, we could have somebody sitting in a corner building Live Dealer.
So this is interesting because that's exactly what I was going to ask you about next. Because very similar to lottery, you've got limited competition but powerful incumbents. So what's going to give you the edge? What gives you the edge in Live Dealer?
I think in a way it's not something a little bit like with lottery or anything else. It's not necessarily that we have like, oh, we have this great idea how to do it in a massively different way. It's more the belief that it is possible to do something when you start from afresh and you start with a technology base that is massively different. Is one of the big things that always forces big companies to, in the end, get problems is that you're built on a tech stack that is decade old. This is like invariably how it is. Maybe in some cases with this lottery, maybe 2 or 3 decades old.
Yeah, of course.
So when you start afresh on anything, you benefit from having just massive improvements in technology that happened between when you built your original project and where we are today. And you can very easily get stuck and you put your foot in the sand. Before you know it, it's turned into concrete, and that foot is going to stay there. So when we build Live Dealer now, or when we build, let's say, lottery now, we benefit in this way from having the ability to do things afresh. It's also the same reason for why we have to do the exact same thing on other products. Take a step back and say, could we do this better now? What gives me confidence is a general level of confidence that is maybe sometimes misplaced, but overall has been rewarded. And then the knowledge that we today have the resources to see things through. We know that Live Dealer is hard to get right. We know it will take time, money, patience, but we have those things. And it's very different from doing a startup where you are only relying on this to succeed. I'm in this luxury position that I came out of 23 with massively good results, even though I had a substantial team building a Live Dealer and making exactly €0 in the entire 2023 on this product. It wasn't live. So just sit there in the background. In 2024, I hope we will start to see some revenues, but I don't expect we'll be break even on this on its own. We will see this, and maybe it'll go horribly wrong, and we'll shut the whole thing down in 25 after giving it two years. But the key thing is I'm able to do it because the core business I have with other products, which were completely independent of this, that they are paying, they're footing the bill for this experiment. And if I do 4 such experiments and 3 of them go well, then I did really well. So I don't have to have an absolute 100% success rate on everything that we are throwing ourselves at. If I do it well enough, and these 2 verticals, of course, are massively big, both of them. Not many have the resources, ability, or guts to go after these big incumbents. So we have, and maybe we'll fail miserably, but it won't kill us, and it will give us a fighting chance.
That's the beauty of the modularization and the kind of like the independence of all the different BUs, isn't it?
Yes, it allows to build independently, sell independently, and also kill it independently, if even that is necessary. Hopefully not, but in some cases, and sometimes it will be if we don't succeed.
Obviously, we talked there a lot about building, but you've also been doing some M&A, like, you know, like Deep CI last year. That was kind of an interesting deal.
It was.
And like, you know, like IGB affiliate, you know, kind of IGB Sister Site works with them, and you know, it's great content they provide. But I was keen to just ask a bit about the M&A strategy. I mean, is that kind of driven by the individual BUs? You know, because obviously I think the deal before that, maybe 22, was the kind of sports, like the retail technology kind of operation. And then, you know, kind of, I suppose, Partner Matrix is where, you know, it's kind of like the Deep CI acquisition. So is that handled, are kind of like M&A deals handled centrally, or are they kind of?
They're more centrally, yes.
Right.
It is, it's one of the luxuries we have of having this BU structure with the localized management on a per product basis is that it frees up time for myself. I mean, we don't have one CEO in the company, we have 9. Me and 8 others, each of them handling their own. And so On my regular work week, there's space for this. I have a small team of my own. I sit here next to here where we are, which deal in strategic matters, data analysis, company analysis, forecasting, things that allow me to work on this without needing the BUs for this. Now, when it comes to the touch of them, can bring them in. They will be subject matter experts. They will see how it fits with them, depending on the tangential things. In DeepCR's case, we saw some great synergies between that and our affiliate product, EveryMatrix. So, okay, DeepCR in itself was a completely cool and new idea.
Yeah.
We loved it very much. Said, but what if you could combine this? I know all the websites and where you as an operator are listed, and combine this with also knowing how much money are we making. Because DeepCR, I cannot see this. People can see where you're listed. You see, oh, you are not listed on this page, and you really should be there. Blah, blah, blah. A lot of good information, but they don't know how much value there is of being this page. Maybe this is a crap page that doesn't bring you any value whatsoever, and you shouldn't care about it. Now combine this with an affiliate product that can tell you how much money you're making on each of the affiliates. This click here is 10 times more worth than this, so it allows you to focus and add even more value to what DeepCR has already. So in this case, we were quite thorough about bringing in the people we had in the affiliate space. What do you think about it? Do you see how it would work? How would you do integration? How would the teams get along? We did, sessions. We took this affiliate product is handled in Armenia. We have a whole team there. Bring these people together. I went there, did a 2-day strategy session, and you could see how it would work, and then we could do the deal. And by and large, we have done this integration. And the next big show, the Amsterdam show, we'll be really pushing hard on the integrated product, which is a version 2, if you like, of DeepCR.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
And well, it's a great.
So much to be excited about.
Yeah, no, there really is. I mean, it's a great way to kind of sign off for Amsterdam, because obviously, we're moving IGB Live to London year after.
Oh, yeah. That is good.
Yeah?
Yeah, because of ICE moving away.
Yeah, so ICE moves to Barcelona, IGB Live moves to London, in the summer as well.
That's perfect. A little bit better than February, maybe.
Yeah. We might actually get some sun. And
strawberries.
Yeah,
Pimps.
yeah. Well, exactly. Wimbledon will be on, get some big screens up. It'll be lovely.
Yeah,
it's going to be great.
Yeah.
And then, so I suppose kind of final 2 questions. First of all, a first or penultimate question, let's say, right, markets. So obviously US has been the big thing for the past few years. Industry attention is shifting to LATAM. Do you kind of look at markets in that way, or is that really down to the BUs to look at which markets work? Do you look kind of further ahead?
It's a good question. We actually try to also do in a coordinated fashion. It makes more sense for us to go into the US and make sure that the casino product, the payments product, the sports product, that they are all available and ready for the US. And then, again, some might fail, some might find traction, some might not. In the sports matter, for instance, it's been quite clear that people are taking quite some beatings in trying to be sportsbook providers. On the other hand, it turned out we had really good success with our casino products. So it's one of the nice things is we can go in, it's coordinated, we go in, not everything will work, but some things will work because of having diversification on the product side.
Yeah.
So we try to do this more centrally controlled, but of course, opportunities arise, and then it can come from the BU. The sales are also decentralized. So we have a small group commercial team, group commercial officer, who is essentially trying to orchestrate the whole thing. I think 80-90% of the sales staff, they sit in the BUs, subject matter experts, and they will have their own opinion and thoughts. And then, it's our job in the group management to make sure that we bind these things together in a good way.
And then finally, you founded the business or co-founded the business in 2008. You've led it as CEO ever since. It's gone through all these kind of iterations, all these evolutions. I mean, what keeps you going? Like, what keeps you motivated after however? just some very quick maths in my head, like over 20 years, I'd say.
Yeah. First of all, actually, when we started, I was not the CEO. We were two guys started it, and we actually have been taking turns a bit about who was the CEO.
Okay.
So Stian Hornsleden,
Yeah.
he was the first CEO. He's now heading our games division while I'm as the group CEO. Anyway, keeps you going. I mean, the cool thing is that it's evolving so much. So the challenges and the perturbations and the variations that you're exposed to are constantly happening. It's not like we did this and did the same as it did last year, which is the same as it the year before, and so on. That would be completely impossible. If you were doing this, you would be absolutely sure that your company would nosedive in at maximum 5 years. You cannot stay still. And so that in itself is motivation. It's motivation that you are forced to reinvent yourself, your company, see how you can do better. It is not about money. It's not about riches and fortune. It's more like, you know, that there's no option to say, I'm happy, I'm content. If you ever get that feeling, you know, do something completely different, because I mean, I could be like financially content with where I am as a person, yes, but as a company, not at all. And in the end, you know, you get up in the morning, go to work. Your worry and your focus is about this, about what's the next step, what's the next step, what's the next thing, and where we are now, you are simply forced to be ambitious about it. You cannot be unambitious. So, well, this is the building we are in now is literally manifest of ambition, you could say. Something comes out of the ground with nice people putting brick after brick, and here it is. So, yeah, we have these joys, these things to celebrate, and then we rejoice at over a nice dinner, but then it's back to saying, what is the next? Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Massive respect for that drive. Ebbe, thank you so much.
Yeah.